Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. We're going to look at Romeo and Juliet, Act 4, Scenes 4 and Scene 5. As Act 4, Scene 4 is very short, we're just going to put it along with Act 4, Scene 5. Okay, so it's building up to the day of Juliet and Paris's wedding. We know Juliet has taken the veil, but the rest, the other characters don't know what's happening. So we're just going to go through what happens in Act 4, Scene 4 first. So Lady Capulet and the nurse enter. As they prepare for the wedding, Capulet, Lady Capulet and the nurse get ready to finish up for the night. The servants come in with food for the cooks. The scene finishes with Capulet telling the nurse to go awaken Juliet as Paris has come. So they've worked through the night, it's now coming to morning time, and we're now about to see, did the plan work? Okay, and that's just the end of the scene. Very simple. So we're going to go on to Act 4, Scene 5, which is a lot longer. So the short scenes build up to a momentous scene. So this is a very important scene that you need to know. So the nurse finds Juliet. The nurse comes into Juliet's room telling her to get up and get ready for the wedding. When she discovers that Juliet is fully dressed, she realizes that she is dead and begins to cry out. Lady Capulet, hearing the commotion, comes into the room and realizes that her daughter is dead and says, "My child, my only life." This is in contrast to her attitude towards Juliet in the previous scene when she disobeyed their orders to marry Paris. So you remember she said that she was dead to her. So it shows how dramatic these characters are. So you can say Romeo and Juliet are impetuous and dramatic, but they get it from their parents. And Shakespeare's highlighting here how quick humans are to change their emotions and their feelings. Okay, they can turn from love to anger to hate very quick and back to love again. When Capulet discovers that Juliet is dead, he uses a simile to describe her passing. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field. So he compares death like a frost in a field that kills the flower. So that death has descended upon Juliet like frost and has taken away her life. Capulet then personifies death when he says, "Death that hath taken her, hence to make me wail, ties up my tongue and will not let me speak." So he's saying death, he's personified death. Death is personified a lot in films and TV shows. If you're a Family Guy fan, you'll see death walks around like the Grim Reaper. Okay, so but here he says, "Death hath taken her to make me cry. It also won't let him speak." So death is this evil person who won't let him speak. Friar Lawrence arrives. Now remember, Friar Lawrence knows exactly what's going on. So Friar Lawrence arrives to begin the wedding ceremony, but the audience know that he's there to make sure they send Juliet to the family crypt. Okay, again, dramatic irony at play here because there's a lot more going on than the characters realise, but we, the audience, know. So Friar Lawrence is on the scene immediately, okay? Probably a bit suspicious, to be honest, that he's there so quick. But he's there to make sure that they follow protocol and that they send her to the crypt. Capulet continues to personify death when he says, "Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. My daughter he hath wedded." So very clever language here. So death is my son-in-law. So instead of marrying Paris, Juliet is now married to death. And death is my heir. My daughter he hath wedded. Paris and Lady Capulet continue with the personification of death and describe death as cruel and cunning. Friar Lawrence tells the Capulets that they conceived Juliet with the help of heaven and now she is back in heaven. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid, now heaven hath all. So basically that God gave you this gift and God has now taken it away. He chastises the Capulets for not appreciating that she now has eternal life. Okay, so he wants to kind of stop them from mourning too much. He wants to get them to think rationally and to get the putting her in the crypt in motion. He needs them to speed up. Okay, so he chastises the Capulets. The friar tells them that the best they hoped for their daughter was to marry a wealthy gentleman and rise up the social ladder. Now she has climbed to heaven and eternal life. The most you sought was her promotion. So promotion would be achieved through marrying Paris, who was a nobleman. For 'twas your heaven she would be advanced. And weep you now, seeing she is advanced above the clouds, as high as heaven itself. So it says, you wanted your daughter to advance. She's now advanced to the most, the highest place that you can be in heaven. He then tells them to hide their tears and to get her ready to go to the church, as is the custom of the Capulets. Capulet says that the wedding feast will now turn into a funeral and that everything will be opposite of its intent. Our bridal flowers serve for a buried corpse, and all things change them to the contrary. So everything is going to be the opposite of what they once were. The friar tells them to hurry up, as they might offend heaven by going against its will. Okay, so that's the end of Act 4, Scene 5. It's actually the end of Act 4, so we're leading into Act 5 now. So the story's starting to pick up pace. The plan is now in full motion. What's going to happen to Juliet? Okay, so hit like if you like today's content and subscribe for further videos. We'll be doing further videos on Romeo and Juliet this week. Thank you.